Manna go ngwana mara wa Sundowns awa go wena lo ka ro juka le bona fela no ba gweranyana fela bona batsadi o ka pelo awa mara Sundowns bana go rona ro tlala le bo mari go motho o no ro wa modalekisa fela no go wa bona le di penalties tsa bo shalodi le balwa ene na le re no itlalla fela ba itse re ka se baje go ba tsona ara tsona o juka mara re ba hai mara awa hai Sundowns 4 awa ma ai ha go ra ba yo go rutlela le botlhoko ha Sundowns ha ba go ba go bolaya ma re no italla go ra italla fela go go mo tira joke fela bona ba tsa dio serious ha na bila da ke sai na ne ba re batla le Sundowns da ke sai ha ba 4 go ba go bola ngwana lo wa modimo lo ba vuma ha Hi. Sundowns since I disqualify.
Oh man, that was Kabelo GP Mumakwe, our resident comedian, hitting us up there with some lovely comedy after the Kaiser Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns this past weekend. But welcome, my name is Malora Moshaba. This is Off the Pitch Sports Show. We are fantastic and love to be in your company this evening. But I'm not alone in studio. A friend of the show, Mr. Coltrane, Mr. Swagg. Munyai, how are you doing?
Fine, and you? How's it, Malo?
Excellent, man. How are things? I mean, you guys have had a rough start to the season so far. But before we talk about this current season, I mean, let's look back. Last season, I mean, you guys finished 8th. Your overall summary of how the season went last season.
Yeah, look, last season was not easy for us, Malo. I mean, you just said it. And then, but the good part, you know, you always take the good out of the season. We were the only team played with a lot of youngsters, which is now we look in those youngsters, they have to reap, you know. We need to reap what we sow, yeah. And then that helped. And Caetano, we need to give him that credit that he managed to play with those youngsters, but the results never favored him due to certain things. But I see those youngsters coming to to be firstly recognized in the South African football. I mean, we lost the 2 to 3, so to say, by the 2 youngsters to our rival, to our neighbors. But that shows that SuperSport United, we still have that that eye, to bring young talent to the club. And I'm saying, check this season, you're gonna see. We're coming with another youngsters that really they're gonna do good.
Coltrane, you mentioned rivalry, and there's something I want to touch on. The sale of Ronald Williams to Mamelodi Sundowns. I mean, do we not have a culture in South African football where, you know, the whole selling to rival clubs and that type of... I mean, overseas, if you were to see a player moving from Manchester United to Manchester City, it would be a big thing. But in South Africa, have we lost that? Does it not exist? I mean, what's your feeling around that?
I think it's an economical imbalance that causes that to happen. You know, I mean, you look at the clubs in South Africa, there's only the big 3 who's got the money. The rest will really surviving. So you'll see...
You guys have got money. I mean,
listen to them. So the company's got money, but the football club doesn't have money. You know, we've got a thin budget. So you look at that, and I'm saying that's why you'll find clubs, younger clubs selling players to the big 3 so that they can survive. But in Europe, if you look at it, they're all balanced. Sponsorship is big, so you don't need really to move, you know. That's why you have players that stay longer in the club, because of they can pay, you know, competitively.
And then obviously, I mean, the transfer window is still open. I mean, you were mentioning that still a couple more weeks. I mean, what can the fans, the SuperSport United fans, still expect from a signings point of view?
Look, I mean, we're looking to strengthen not much. I think 1 or 2 players. We're looking mainly, you know, your traditional number 6 there. You're looking at your maybe enforcing the striking force. You know, that's where we're looking so that our spine can be so strong, and then these youngsters can come around, and the young ones can learn from the experience that we want to bring in.
Coltrane, you mentioned, I mean, fans in stadiums. I mean, what is it with South African football? I mean, you asked me earlier, you know, offline, is that are we actually a football nation with regards to the spectators? You know, I mean, tickets are not that expensive for games, but where are the people? I mean, COVID is gone now, stadiums are open, but People are
Man,
still...
I'm not sure. You
Yeah.
know, one grew up in this industry of football. I mean, from young days, I think we used to go to go and watch football. I think football, or let me say, lifestyle has changed. Maybe that's the reason.
There's more options of
yes,
things to do.
people can do a lot. They
sharp.
can sit home and watch TV.
Sharp.
You know, they can play games,
Sharp.
PlayStation. They could go
Social
to the malls,
media.
You know, all those things. We're updating a lot on social media. But I really ask, are we really a football nation? Because of our ticket is 40 rand. But I bet to you, even the big threes, we struggle to have 5,000 people to come to the stadium and watch. Paying 5,000 people. We give a lot of sponsorship, you know, complimentary and whatever, to make hype. But what is it that we're doing wrong as a football nation? But I don't think, you know, we used to say maybe our quality is not strong, our quality is not wrong, the product is not. But I think the
Welcome back to Off the Pitch. You're still here enjoying the best of local and international sport, but we're changing things up a bit, touching on golf, as Ashley Buhai became one of the first South African females to win the AIG Women's Open. But Coltrane, Mr. Munyai Swagg, changed formations a little bit with the new Munyai t-shirt Swagg for the 2022 edition of the Munyai Swagg. Talk to us. What's this competition all about?
Yeah, look, Munyai Swagg, it's a golf social tournament. Yeah. You know, I've started this like 8 years ago. We'll be celebrating our 8th year now. At Rand Park on the 15th of December. You know, this started like, you know, thinking people in December, everybody goes for holidays, but
Sure.
I noticed that we still have people around out there who are there.
Sure.
And golfers love too. So the thing was like, this is becoming a last golf of the year.
Yeah.
You know, and then it dropped
Before
like that.
people go
Yeah,
away and
before
all of
go
that.
for holidays and whatever
Yeah.
for Christmas. Then you play your last golf at Munyai Swagg, and then, you know, I think you were there last year.
Yeah.
You see, numbers are big. You
100%.
know. I've got good numbers that people love to come and play golf, you know, Munyai Swagg. And then, as you say, it's more about the swag, you know,
Yeah.
doing things
Yeah.
different,
Yeah.
you know, not being a traditional golf day. Mine is very different, and ensuring that people, they enjoy themselves.
And I saw from last year also the female representation. I mean, we touched on obviously Ashley winning last week. The female representation in golf in South Africa and black female golfers is definitely growing.
Look, I mean, you just said Ashley, you know, by winning that, it shows that South African women golfers is growing. They're coming in numbers. I mean, last year I had at least 20 of them coming to play out of 144. So that's good. And I mean, I saw yesterday there were golfers when I went to Bryanston, but the ladies golfers is growing, and Ash is going to make it sure that they grow in numbers, because winning, it shows. We had the men who were winning in the international golf tournaments, but now we're having our own women. And then we're hoping to see one of the black women. I see young black girls playing golf now. Look, in 5 years, we'll have one of our own winning this tournament.
100%. And I mean, shout out to Rand Park as well, golf club. But I mean, for those maybe, obviously in Cape Town, we're obviously shooting, obviously for them now. But with regards to other maybe golf clubs who would really like to have some of your sponsors and some of your players have that, I mean, are we likely to see in Rondebosch and Stellenbosch potentially Munyai Swagg being there?
Yeah, no, look, Munyai Swagg, it's a golf that it's really want to grow. And then looking at that, what you just said, we're looking to, you know, maybe during the year, go to your Cape Town, to your KZN, ensuring that we spread the brand, you know. And it will be nice, you know, touching base. I mean, one went to Griselda, you know, in the Stellenbosch.
Playing by the sea.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you just want to be there. And then I think we've got the numbers that people can go there. And because it's already, you know, even you start with 60-40 in that different provinces, and then I'm happy that the Cape TV will be there. And
what can people look forward to for this year's edition? I mean, obviously I was there last year and a couple of other years. What maybe is there going to be a different type of swag element this year? Potential new sponsors, brands, something that you might be doing different?
Yeah, no, look, maybe on that, you know, at Munyai Swagg, what we do mostly is to promote the young business guys. I mean, you'll see that we'll do the winemakers, the young black winemakers, the jeans,
yes,
the
yes,
vodkas,
yes.
the t-shirts, the Itu Golf, the Ikolufu, you know, all these guys who are coming up. And then you're going to have more of those. I always say, let's give platform to these young upcoming business people to come and showcase their talent. You know, and then definitely you're going to see something different. We try by all means every year to be bigger and better. So come on the 15th of December, I'm saying, just
also still Rand
spot.
Park for this year's edition?
Still Rand Park. book your spot and make sure that you come there. You're going to see a different Munyai Swagg. We're going to be bigger and better.
And then from a sponsorship point of view, I mean, some of the brands maybe you would want to mention or potentially not that you are looking at working with, that you're currently working with regards to this year's edition. I mean, what is the lineup looking like?
Yeah, look, I mean, in terms of sponsors, I still have PPS to go with us, you know, as a main sponsor. But I'm open to sponsors to come and see and to, you know what, to come and join Munyai Swagg and say, what do you have? And then definitely I'm talking.
And what's the level of the ability of the golfers? I mean, last year we obviously saw the winner there, but this year, I mean, what are you expecting in terms of how competitive is now the competition?
Look, it's very competitive, Malo. It's very
Yeah.
competitive. I mean, the level, I mean, we're talking at least, you know, your minimum should be your 18 handicap, you know, and down. But you've got a lot of single handicappers to come and play. And then, as you said, I'm going to throw at least one or two professionals to come to spice
brilliant.
it up.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
As I'm saying, there's something is coming up. You know? Those who are on the Sunshine Tour list, they'll come and spice it up and then make sure, have a competition, beat a pro and get a prize, you know. It will be nice, you know.
So definitely this year is going to be one of the best tournaments, I think, from a Munyai Swagg perspective.
Yeah, it has to be better. We can't do the same thing that we did last year. So it has to be bigger and better. As I'm saying, every year, do something different. Ensure that people enjoy so that they can come.
But golf in the country, just overall, I mean, how are you seeing just the state of golf in South Africa? I mean, obviously COVID affected, you know, even the caddies, for an example. So it's always good that these initiatives can come back to try and just uplift the sport from a South Africa point of view.
Look, golf in South Africa is growing.
Yeah.
It's growing. And as you look, Sunshine Tour now, it plays every week. We never had such a thing. And thanks to SuperSport, obviously, to ensure that they sponsor it as well. It plays every week. People can make fortune out of golf now so that they get cars, they go Europe and then they play. It's really a growing sport in this country.
I mean, I was reading somewhere that the annual contribution of golf to the GDP of the country is sitting about 50 billion rands annually. So it really just talks volumes about the sport and the contribution it makes to the
You know,
economy.
as I said, when I started Munyai Swagg, those are the things were pushing me to say, look, there's about 50 billion out there. But we as golfers, what do we do about it? Where are we getting a cake, a slice out of that? So it's a matter of, we just want to play and go. But as you say, now it's more than 50 billion. It's no longer sitting on 50. I think it's going to 80, 100. You know, the speed of within the golf, you know, it's a lot of money there. So
for more information, I mean, where can people sitting at home just get more information? Website, social media, and so forth?
Yeah, no, follow me on social media. It's Coltrane Munyai. On all my platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and that coming up with TikTok as well.
Yeah.
So
the man is on TikTok.
I told you, move with the times. The swag, you can't just swag not moving with the times.
100%.
So we're there.
100%.
Yeah.
Munyai Swagg, look out for that on the 15th of December at Rand Park Golf Club. Big shout out to them. But stay tuned. In the third segment, we're going to be touching a little bit on the big game that happened at Ellis Park between South Africa and New Zealand. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still here with Off the Pitch, segment 3, and we've been chatting here to Coltrane Munyai. But let's go a bit different now, Coltrane, talking a little bit about rugby. I mean, we saw the brilliant game against the Springboks on the weekend, but I want to talk about the passion and the DNA of the Springboks, and maybe how can other sporting codes like football learn from what the Springboks are doing?
Look, I mean, the Springboks are doing well, and if you can look at it, I mean, honestly, this thing started at the school level. You know, you saw, I think it was 2 weeks, there were rivalry, school, rugby things and whatever, playing against each other. And this thing started there, the Craven Weeks and whatever. In football, we lost it long time. When we grew up, we've got Wednesdays football leagues at school level. But we don't have that anymore. And I think it's the structure of the SAFA need to bring SAFA Schools League back. You know, what they call it, SASCO, whatever. We need that back so that the kids can play football from there. Because I don't see, the passion is there. The passion is there in football for the game. But the administration and the way football needs to be structured, it's not there. And we like it or not, the mother body need to work on this.
100%. I mean, you see, and you saw obviously on the weekend, the passion in how the Springboks sing the national anthem, playing for that gold and green jersey still holds so much value to a young player wanting to play for the Springboks. But I don't know if a 10, 15-year-old holds the Bafana jersey up at home and really idolizes the fact that one day he wants to put this on. I don't know what the...
Look, my friend, you're talking Bafana. Bafana, it's a really sad story.
Yeah.
It's a sad story that, Hugo Bruce said it, that we need to, but all the coaches who came, they're talking one thing: our development, it's not well structured.
So for you, that's
that's where we are. And as I'm saying, it's that school level, LFAs, and I always say one thing for sure: let's get our LFA right. That's the local football association administrated right. Get the schools right, and then it's gonna go through to Bafana. And then because administratively, not to be biased, PSL is doing well. It's doing well. It's one of the most sponsored, but we don't have the same that side. And I say, that's me, Coltrane. I believe the day where we're gonna have SAFA and PSL working under one roof with one leadership, we'll qualify for the World Cup.
And I mean, I'm sure there's politics in rugby, but it just from the outside, from a normal fan watching, seeing the Springboks, you don't seem to feel it because of the success of the Springboks. They're doing so well, but maybe from a football point of view, because they're not doing well on the field, you then start to dig deeper and see these inequalities and politics within the game.
Yeah, no, politics are there. There's politics in school. Teachers and one principal, fine. There's politics, but let's always try and find amicable solutions. Let's fight in the bedroom, in the boardroom, for the better of the kids to play football, for the nation, so that we come back where, it's so sad that today we're still celebrating class of 1996 in 2022.
100%.
It's so sad.
100%.
And talent is there.
Yeah.
Talent is there. I mean, I heard, SAFA, they bought in the VAR, they bought the place. That place I'm hearing is depleted. It's not a nice place to be. But if you look, our rugby, our cricket, they do things differently. As we said, maybe we need to go and visit them and say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What is right?
Is they that though? I mean, do you think Safa and Saru, do they talk? Is they sharing of ideas? Is there any of that cross scene? I mean, we're all South Africans at the end of the day. We want our sporting codes to work,
Yeah, no. Where I'm sitting, I've never heard about that, happening. But maybe SASCOC and the Olympics Committee, they need to drive those things to say, let's do together. What can we do? Maybe the Minister of Sport need to jump in and say, guys, what can we do better? We know that the government don't need to run, but can influence.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But let's have a listen. Our resident analyst, rugby analyst, King Curtis Umalo, was actually at the game this particular weekend. So he's got some lovely footage post-game in the big match against South Africa versus New Zealand. Have a listen.
Well, at the studio, this has been crazy day. Like we didn't expect it. Everybody's been talking about it. Springboks, we're winning the first game, we're losing the second game. So it's been a big talk about it. Who's starting, ubanowenza zonke izinto. But manje, just last week, we're going to be live at the stadium and we're watching the game live. And angikongedwa njalo namhlanje ngihlezi Jonathan Mqwena, captain, list block and seventh player, and uthini ngale game boss?
Right, it's been a tough one. It's been a tough one. I think obviously we had the opportunity as Springboks to really put them the dagger.
Yeah.
But we had the All Blacks against with the backs against the wall. But unfortunately we couldn't do that. We allowed them to play, to get first, to get quick ball, and then secondly just allowed them to decide what they wanted to do with ball in hand. And that for me was a turning point.
If you look at the game last week and this week, is it the change of the squad? Did that affect everything? Because Umona, he actually played, I think, about 25-30 minutes of the game, and then there was second out. What's the story with that?
Yeah, look, I think definitely Mark's played a massive role within the first 30 minutes. I don't think we actually turned over one ball at the breakdown. So I think as much as Dweba is good for the Springboks, he just doesn't offer the same turnover and the ability to slow ball down at the breakdown like a Marks would do. So I think that for me was the big turning point. And the All Blacks, unfortunately, they flourished and thrived on it.
Was that a mature change though? It just seems to be mature for umuntu suspect a Springbok player being changed so early.
Yeah, look, I think the one thing we need to understand is that the Springbok management, they will plan everything to the T. And so even with Joseph Dweba having a start tonight, I think for him it was about, for us in John Neabal and Dion, it was for them about seeing what he can offer against teams like the All Blacks, against teams like Argentina, because it's easy to perform well against Georgia and the winners of the world, but it's for him, it's about an opportunity to really put up his hand against the best in the world, which is All Blacks.
Yeah, true. Well, then, today, Williams, I think he was just absent. As much as he got the card, but again, he's been consistent on the game.
Absolutely.
Is it someone that's the future for us? All the roots are somebody. What's the story with that?
Yeah, look, I think Williams has now become a man. He's become a daughter now. Yeah. In the 15 jersey, and I don't think.
Absolutely brilliant there from King Curtis Umalo out at the stadium. Coltrane, it's that time again. Unfortunately, we have to love and leave you, but thank you so much. It's been your insights, your experience, your knowledge, cross sports, absolutely brilliant.
No, thanks, Mano. Thanks for inviting me to Off the Pitch.
Yeah. Our new setup, you like it?
Yeah, no, I like the setup. I'm looking forward to see Off the Pitch growing.
100%.
I know you started a long time, and I'm saying, you're doing a good job with the team, and then all the best.
Thank you so much, and look out for his tournament there, and all the best as well to SuperSport United. But thank you to you for watching this particular episode. My name is Malo Ramoshaba. We'll see you again, same time, same place next week. We out.
We'll be right back.